Good evening, loves, and welcome to Transformational Tuesday, where on the first Tuesday of every month, we discuss principles and practices to expand your thinking and transform your life. Thank you guys for joining me on another Transformational Tuesday. It is finally spring where I am, so I apologize that I'm a little bit late because this sunlight, all this extra sunlight, had me fooled. So tonight I wanted to ask you, what is the highest number? What is the highest number? Go ahead and in the comment section, let me know what is the highest number. Is there a highest number? And if there is a highest number, what is the highest number? Go ahead and comment so that you can let me know what that is. Tonight I want to talk to you about potential. Potential. Because I've been thinking about a lot of things. Many of you know that I've worked in higher education for some time, and I see people who have lots of resources, lots and lots of resources at their disposal. And as we are asked in life from the time we are like young, really, really small, we're asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? That's such a loaded question, and it's almost unfair. Sometimes it's unfair because sometimes the expectation is that we're going to ask this to children, and children are actually going to know how to answer. Nevertheless, it's a good question to ask to children because it gets them to thinking. What do you want to be when you grow up? What was your question? What was your answer to that when you were younger? What do you want to be when you grow up? Are you living what you said you wanted to do when you grow up? Or has it changed? Or have you kept changing what it is you want to be when you grow up and you are still working towards that? Let me know. Are you where you want to be? Are you who you say you are when you were smaller, or what you're doing, what you said you were going to do when you were younger? Basically, are you living your dream? Are you reaching your highest potential right now? Are you working towards your highest potential? Are you still learning? Are you still growing? And the reason I asked what you wanted to be when you grow up, because it starts from when we're small. And what I've realized the older I grow and I guess the wiser I become, is that oftentimes the reason why we don't obtain or reach our highest potential is because of our mindset. It's because of our mindset, because somewhere along the line we were taught that if we go to school and we get an education and we get a good job, that's what we needed to do. Somewhere along the line we were taught that if we follow a linear prescription, if we do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, then we would get all our dreams fulfilled and we would live fulfilling and successful lives. But oftentimes we've done those things. We've done A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We've done it all. We've accomplished all the things that people have said that we needed to do in order to accomplish our dreams, but then we're still not satisfied. Why? Because there's so much potential that lays within us that's untapped, potential that's dormant, potential that we know that we have within us that for some reason we don't use. And my question to you is, why do we limit ourselves? Why do you limit yourself? Why do we all limit ourselves? Why do we know that we can do this great thing? We can live full, significant lives if we apply ourselves a little bit more, because there's so much potential within us. But then, what is it? What is it that makes us stop? What is it that makes us fall short? What is it that makes us think that we can't do it? See, when we were young and people asked us what we want to be, we had all these grand ideas, right? When we were young and people said, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or what do you want to do when you get older? We had grand ideas. And then as we grew older, and sometimes we realized the work that was necessary, as we grew older and some people told us that we can't do it, as we grew older and we realized whatever, we started to put limits on ourselves. We started to put limits on what we could achieve. We started to put limits on the things that we could get done. We started to put limits on our possibilities. We started to put limits on our potential. And no matter how old we are, it is never too late for us to work on our potential. It's never too late for us to work on our purpose. It's never too late for us to work on our passion. No matter how old you are, no matter how many times you've heard no, no matter how many times you've doubted yourself, no matter how many times the talk didn't come from the outside, The talk came from the inside. It came from your own voice, the voice in your head that told you no, you can't. The voice in your head that told you that you're too old, or the voice that told you you're not smart enough, or the voice that told you you're too smart, or the voice that told you you don't have the resources to get it done. Those voices came from within ourselves, within our heads, and we have to change the voice, and we have to change the narrative. We have to change what it is we're talking to ourselves and telling ourselves so that we can achieve our highest potential. What is it that you want to do that you haven't done yet? What is it that you want to accomplish that you haven't accomplished yet? What is it that lays beyond the surface, right beyond the surface, where you have the potential to achieve, but for some reason, you are limiting your potential? Do you know to limit your potential and to hide your gift is to be ungrateful to God? Do you know that to limit your potential and not use it is to be ungrateful to the universe? See, when we were blessed with gifts, we didn't ask for it. When we were blessed with gifts, we didn't ask to be blessed with this gift or that gift. It was a gift that at times we didn't know we had. But when we discover the gifts that we have, we realize, oh my God, I wasn't even smart enough to ask for this. I didn't even know that I had this. But you discover the gifts that are within you, and you realize that you have to use it. You have to use your gifts, and you have to use your talents to reach your highest purpose and to reach your fullest potential. And to do anything otherwise is to say to God, you made a mistake. To do anything otherwise is to say to God, I didn't really deserve this. To say to God that what you blessed me with, I am not going to make use of. So I want to encourage you today to examine some of the beliefs that are stopping you from achieving your highest potential. What are those beliefs? What are some of the things that you tell yourself that keep you from working harder, or keep you from using your full gifts, or keep you from working towards your full potential and living your purpose? What are the things that you're telling yourself? Examine what are those things and where did they come from? How can you eliminate those things out of your mind? How can you eliminate them out of your thoughts so that you can reach your highest potential? There's a I had this on my desk, this little sticky. I don't know where I got it from, but it was on my desk for many years, and it said, the greater danger for most of us lies not in setting our aim too high and falling short, but in setting our aim too low and achieving our mark. And for many of us, that's what happens. For many of us, we by the time we really start to work on our goals and work on our gifts, we set our marks so low that we achieve them and we feel lofty. You know, we got that degree and it's okay. We got this job, it's okay. We landed this contract, it's okay. And we end up being stuck right where we are, not trying harder, not really living to our fullest potential because we set this one goal and we reached it. But what's the highest number? That's what I opened with, and there was a reason for that. What is the highest number? Did anybody, I'm going to go through the comments. Did anybody say what is the highest number? What is the highest number? What is the highest number? See, your potential is like the highest number. Your potential is like the highest number. Think about that. Think about all the numbers in the world and all the equations, and think about the billions and the trillions, and think about everything else. And know that your potential supersedes that. Your potential is like the highest number. There's no cap. There's no limit. There's nothing to set you back. There's nothing to keep you from achieving your highest potential, except for yourself, except for the lies that you're telling yourself, except for the limiting beliefs that you've said over and over and over and over. Tonight, I'm going to ask you to free your minds. Tonight, I'm going to ask you to free yourselves. And tonight, I'm going to ask you to think, what were you born to do? What were you put here on this earth to do? What are your talents and gifts that are laying right beneath the surface that you're not using, that you're using it like how we use our cell phones? It is said that we use about 10% of our cell phones, or how we even use our brains, right? My 7-year-old told me recently that, Mommy, do you know that children use 3% of their brains and adults use 10% of our brains? How much of your potential are you using? How much of your potential are you using? I'm going to encourage you when you get off this life to think about all the goals and the dreams that you had when you were yet a child, that you spoke into the universe, that you believed in your heart. All the dreams and potentials that you know that lay beneath the surface. that's waiting right there, that's untapped, that for some reason you're not working towards that goal because of something you may have heard, something you may have said, but most of all, something that you believe, something that you believe about yourself. I want you to think about it. I want you to write it down. I want you to write down those self-limiting beliefs that are keeping you from your potential in one column. And then I want you to write down on another column your dreams, your goals, the things that you have yet to accomplish, that you want yet to see done in your life, that you have yet to give the world, because that's what your potential is, and that's what your gifts are. They're to serve others, to serve humanity, and to make this world a better place. I want you to make those two lists, and I want you to reconcile those lists. Reconcile what on the left side in your self-limiting beliefs, what on that side is keeping you from accomplishing the things on your right side, which is your potential. See, people say sometimes you just have to get rid of self-limiting beliefs. And I'm encouraging you to do that. It doesn't happen overnight. Why? Because you didn't get these self-limiting beliefs overnight. They didn't just pop into your head. It was over a period of time when you kept telling yourself no, when you doubted yourself, when you failed the first time, when you fell down, when you refused to get up, when you didn't want to be ridiculed, when you didn't want to be laughed at, when you didn't meet somebody else's expectations, so you felt that you had no need to meet your own expectations. It's these self-limiting beliefs when somebody laughed at you. It's these self-limiting beliefs when somebody rejected you the first time, when you heard no over and over and over again, and you thought to yourself, I'm never going to hear a yes, and so you stopped. But you know whatever it is that you want to do is right there. It's bubbling under the surface. Write it down. Write it down. Look at and examine those self-limiting beliefs. Examine where they come from. And then realize that they are lies. Realize that those self-limiting beliefs, they are all lies. You don't have to believe them. You chose to believe them, and you are in control of your own mind, which means that what you can do is choose to think differently. What you can choose to do is eliminate those beliefs. When they creep up into your mind, replace them with the things that are on the right side of your list. Replace them with the potential that you have. Replace them with the dreams that you have. Replace them with the things that you want to accomplish. And slowly but surely work those things out of your mind, work them out of your system, because they have no place in your life. So tonight, that's it for me. Just want to ask you guys, what is the highest number? What is the highest number? That highest number, it correlates with your potential. It's unlimited. Your potential is unlimited. And keep working towards it. You don't stop working on your purpose. You don't stop working on your potential until you're gone. Until you're gone from this earth. So if you have life, if you have a cell phone where you're watching me off of, a computer where you're watching me off of, you have electricity, you have air in your lungs, you can work on your potential. There are no excuses. I see people who have lots of resources. They come from two-parent households with a college fund, and their parents were educated and their grandparents were educated, and yet still they haven't reached their full potential because of self-limiting beliefs. So self-limiting beliefs has nothing to do with the resources you have. It often has to do with the exposure, but not the resources. On the other hand, I know some people who have very limited resources, but what they didn't allow was for any naysayers to creep into their minds. What they didn't allow was for anyone to tell them no, and for that no to dampen their dream. What they never did was they never stopped believing in themselves. I need for you to believe in yourself. I need for you to know that whatever it is, if a thought enters your head, if something enters your mind that says you can do it, you can do it. The thought would not have presented itself in your mind if you couldn't. If you couldn't do this thing or do these things that you want to do, if you couldn't do these things that correlate with your purpose and your passion and your potential, it wouldn't come into your mind. Once you started to think about these things, once you started to imagine them and dream them, you can achieve them. They were implanted into your mind because they are possible. It is only when we start thinking about all the reasons why it can't happen and why we start to make it impossible. But anything that was implanted into your mind, into your heart, into your soul, for you to do, for you to live, for you to achieve, you can do it. So start working on your mind, start changing your thought patterns, and know that you can achieve your potential, you can achieve your highest purpose. It all starts here. What are you thinking? What is the highest number? It's unlimited. So is your potential. Thank you guys. Love you. Thank you for joining me on Transformational Tuesday. And if you need help in reaching your potential, let me know. I'm here to help you. Love you guys. Have a good night.